Guy that's coming up through the ranks of comedy. He started off doing open mic, and that's pretty all he does open mic on Sunday nights. And he started doing that, and he was doing pretty well. And I go, hey, let's put him on a regular show here, and so let's give him a shot at a regular show. So that's how we're doing it, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to stage, Randy Young, everybody, Randy Young.
All right. So I don't know if any of you guys have ever been on stage to do comedy before, but it's pretty awkward to just get up here and start a conversation with a room full of strangers. Especially when the only appropriate response is, ha 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 ha. Because if you don't get that ha 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 back, it gets even more awkward standing up here on this stage. It's like when you're with a group of friends and you start telling a story, and halfway through the story you realize nobody is paying attention to your story. Like, what do you do in that situation? Do you keep telling your story and hope maybe someone starts listening in a little bit, or do you stop telling the story, maybe try it again later? So I don't know if you guys have ever been on stage before or not, but it's pretty awkward to just get up here and start a conversation with a group. So I grew up on a farm way out in the middle of nowhere, and I have two older siblings. When I was born, my brother was really happy because now he had his own personal football practice dummy. Like, when I was 3 years old, just learning how to run, he would take me out in the backyard and have me run around, and he'd throw footballs at me, but I couldn't catch yet, so he'd aim for my feet, and if I fell over, to him, that's a catch. Completed pass. So he'd say things like, all right, Randy, run to the fire or faucet, and then go to the garage. I'm like, ah. Hit me in the head, I'd go down crying, but I fell over, so that's a completed pass. Touchdown! Like, I'm on one side of the yard crying, my brother's on the other side of the yard like, woo! Doing his touchdown dance. My mom comes out, what's going on out here? We just won the Super Bowl, Mom, that's what's going on out here. My siblings and I play board games together a lot. When we were younger, we get really competitive with them. And even now, we still get really competitive with our board games. What's funny about that is all three of the people that we married do not play board games, especially not competitively. They actively avoid it, and it makes family game nights really awkward. Like on one side of the room, the in-laws over here putting together a New York City skyline puzzle, like teamwork style. And then over here, we're playing cutthroat Monopoly, like getting ready to slash each other. It's like, all right, guys, we got the outside edge, moving right along. No, don't you dare make that trade with him. I offered you the same thing last. Oh, really? Really? You're a jerk. I hate you so much. All right, we got all the buildings. This is looking great. Now all we need is the sunset to fill in the background. How did you get houses on the yellow already? Are you kidding? Oh, you passed go? I don't think you should be banker anymore. All right, guys, last piece. Who wants to put the flame in Lady Liberty's torch and complete this thing? Not a 5 or 7. Not a 5 or 7. 7! Oh, come on! Wow, you guys, that was a really good family fun building experience. A lot of bonding there. I hate both of you. Never talk to me again. Get your bags. We're going. Oh, honey, we're staying at your brother's house tonight. So yeah, that's pretty fun. A little bit about my siblings. My sister, she's the oldest. She's the brains of the bunch. She's a surgical nurse for open heart surgery, so she saves lives on a daily basis, which is pretty incredible. My brother, he's the middle child, the stronger hard worker. He runs the family farm with my brother, the 4th generation to do so. With what he produces in a year, he can have a picnic for the entire state of Kansas. Also pretty incredible. And then I'm the youngest son, and I crave attention. So I'm on stage telling you guys jokes tonight. And I like to think my parents are equally proud of all three of us. I have another job. I'm also a personal trainer. I did that in my small town of Tribune where I grew up. It took personal training to a whole nother meaning when you personally know everybody in the town of 800 that's working out with you. Like, some of them would be my friends' moms. Like, all right, Mrs. Schneider, if you don't mind doing squats, if that's okay. Also, can Chase come over for supper tonight? I already asked my wife. She said it's all right. Some of them were like my grade school teachers. Like, all right, next, Carrie, Mrs. Dixon. No, Carrie, Mrs. Dixon. I'm sorry, please just don't send me back to the principal's office. I don't want to go see Spencer again, please no. So in this fitness center that I worked in, there were these two random poles that would just go through the middle of the room. And I don't know why they were there, but I had this group of 3 ladies. They would come in the mornings, and they could not refrain from making little, well, look at me, I'm a stripper, my name's Portia. Yeah, that's hilarious. I know I'm your personal trainer, but let's keep in mind I'm still your second cousin, your nephew, and your son. So if we could stop with the stripper jokes, that would be awesome. Thank you. Living in a small town is pretty tough because you don't have a lot of privacy. Everyone kind of knows your business. And if they don't know your business, they make it up anyway. Doesn't matter. Like my wife and I, we lived there for 1.5 years. Never once were we even close to being pregnant. But I heard 3 times we were about to have a baby. Like, so Stevie's having a baby? She better not be. Because that's not mine. We started recently talking about maybe starting our family here soon. Like what we would name them, how many, how far apart in age they would be. After a while, my wife stops me and goes, I'm starting to think you're going to favor certain children over others. So that's not true. I'm going to love any of the girl ones just as much as I love Randy Jr. How dare you assume that I'm going to favor our firstborn son that takes my name and lives out my legacy over those other things, children, kids. So the other night, we were on our couch watching TV and playing on our phones because we're millennials, and I'm reading this article on my phone, and while I'm reading, I'm thinking, yeah, this is absolutely 100% true. So I tell my wife, hey, did you know that 85% of men will agree with their spouse just to avoid having an argument? And my wife, who has a degree in psychology, says, well, that's stupid. It's not healthy in any relationship. So I said back to her, I know, right? I can't believe any guy would do that. That's just throw a backbone, man. Come on. I don't do that. That's why we have such a good relationship. I really don't argue with my wife very much. Mostly because I'm an 85%er. Also because I know there's no winning. Like, it doesn't matter what my argument is, like, or if I'm correct.
That's right.
I'm not gonna win. So like my wife's family growing up, they would use the word pip instead of fart. As in, you pipped. So I told her one time, I think it's funny that you guys use the word pip. She goes, everyone uses the word pip. No. Nobody uses that word. Because yeah, people use it all the time. Never in the history of ever has anyone used that word. Like, give me an example, anyone besides your family. Because people use the word pipsqueak all the time. Well, that's not the same. She goes, it is too. You pip, it squeaks, you're a pipsqueak. You sound like a pipsqueak right now, pipsqueak. Whoa. So I just don't argue with her anymore. So we just moved into a new house recently, and it's October, Halloween coming up. My wife says, oh babe, this is the first year for Halloween, we're gonna have little Halloweeners. In my head, I know that is not right. That is not right at all. But is it worth the argument? 'Cause I can see so many ways that Halloweeners is coming back bad on me. But also, I just want to see that. You know, on Halloween, kids come up, ring the doorbell, they have their parents right there behind them. They're like, trick or treat. It's like, oh, look at you, cute little scary Halloweeners. What did she just call our kids? No, come on. Put that candy back. Let's go. Down. No. Turn around. They're perverts. Don't come to this house. That's what I'm excited for. My wife and I have been married for 4.5 years. Happily, I should add, because she's sitting right back there. Things are going pretty well for us. If we make it to year 5, I think I'm going to update her last name in my phone contacts. Change it to my name. I just want to make sure things are serious first, you know. But my wife and I, we get along pretty good. I think it's funny that as humans, we base so much of our mates off personality. Like, no other animal does that. Every other animal in the animal kingdom is like, oh, you're the biggest and strongest? Okay. Even birds are pretty vain. They're like, you've got the prettiest feathers. You want to lay some eggs? The only animal that would care about the personality, and really only the sense of humor, hyenas. So, quick history of my wife and I's relationship, and I'll leave you with this last thing. We met in 2008. We started dating in 2009. Then we broke up in 2010. We did not talk to each other in 2011 or 2012. 2013, we became friends again, started dating in 2014. We got married in 2015. So it just goes to show, if you love something, let it go. And if it comes back to you, they could not find anything better. Which makes me the best of what was left. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your show. Thanks for laughing.